Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the one, the only Kloppzone with your boys, Ash and... Oh, my goodness gracious me. I apologize to everyone to start off with because short notice, watch along. Do you know when you're trying to get supply teachers in at school? They're never going to be as good as the teacher, but they're always happy, and you can take advantage of them a little bit and have a laugh. That's what I've tried to do for you. So we've got Mr. James the Brain in the building with us for the live Champions League watch along. So stay in. Like we said, we were just on Instagram. Get over. YouTube's where it's at. Watch the Champions League draw live because it's live and popping. And subscribe, hit like. That's all you've got to do. What's he doing? This guy, Kloppzone. Yeah, I know what he's doing.
I get confused which side I need to point.
But this is Kloppzone, and we can't start the show without running the intro. This is the watch along. This is the Champions League live. So let's go. We're here in the building.
That beat just works, doesn't it? With that intro,
that intro just works. Not only the intro that works, though, James, because you're on the show, so we need to give you an epic intro. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's James the Brain making his YouTube Kloppzone debut.
No, it's not.
No, in fact, if it's not, you're not having the tune then. Fine.
I've done a start show with you and Jack on YouTube.
Oh yeah, you did. I'll give you one of these. I'll give you one of these then instead because you did do that. I'll admit. I'm sorry. There you go. You can have a little. You can have a sword thud. That's all you can have. Or you can have one of these. A bubble. I don't know why I've done a bubble. But everyone, this is the Champions League draw live watch along. We've just done a Kloppzone pre-show draw, or whatever you want to call it. The draw.
Pre-draw show.
Pre-draw show before mock-up draw before the show of the draw with the draws. We've just done that anyway. But let's just big up some people who have come back in. Cammy is back in. We are back, baby, says Ellis38. James, the supply teacher. That's a violation. It's not a violation. James is...
I'll be back tomorrow as well. Ladies' night's back tomorrow, so...
James would say that, plug Ladies' Night, because he's got something special to show you tomorrow. So make sure you tune into Ladies' Night tomorrow. Cammy, why does the Champions League draw always take so long to start? Cam, we don't know. But while it's taking so long to start, what we will do is we'll run through the pots, the teams, and get you up to date with what's going to go on, who can play where, who's in what. So let's take a look, Mr. James the Brain, at the Champions League pots this time. So we've got pot 1, Real Madrid, Frankfurt. It doesn't sound as good, that, does it? Like, I got the whole Real Madrid, and then I just went Frankfurt. It doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? So I've got to try and let me give it a bit of pizzazz. Real Madrid, Frankfurt, Manchester City. I don't know why I've turned into Mohamed Salah. I don't know why. So we'll just read it in my own voice. Real Madrid, Frankfurt, Man City, AC Milan, Bayern Munich, PSG, Porto, and Ajax in pot 1. Then we've got pot 2, Liverpool in pot 2, the team, the dream, LFC, Chelsea, Barca, Juve, Atletico Madrid, Sevilla, RB Leipzig, and Tottenham Hotspur. Then we've got pot 3, Borussia Dortmund, RB Leipzig, Shakhtar, Inter Milan, Napoli, Sporting, Leverkusen, and Benfica. And pot 4, Celtic, Club Brugge, Dynamo Zagreb, FC Copenhagen, more teams you don't care about, Rangers, Victoria Plzen, Maccabi Haifa, and Marseille. Everyone does care about them. I'm sorry, that was a violation. I
I
apologize.
agree there, Latif. Let's hope that they don't make the same mistake as last year's draw, where people were drawn against teams they shouldn't have been drawn against. And they had to redo the whole thing.
Last year was so ridiculous. That was the round of 16, though? Was that the round of 16?
No, it was the group stage. We ended up. No, I think it might have been. We should have ended up with Leipzig, and it ended up having to be redrawn because somewhere along the line somebody played somebody that they shouldn't have been. And
idiots. That's all I'm saying. Idiots. Back in the building, says Luke Chambers. Yes, we are Luke Chambers. We're back in the building. And like I said, G's gone home sick. He's not feeling very well. So we had to ring Supply Podcasters for All. And we got Mr. Coca-Cola himself, Mr. James the Brain. It takes ages to start, James. Where are we up to with the draw? Because, James, we're watching it live. Let the people know where we're up to.
They were just about to start it, and now they've gone to an ad break. Like, they've got Yaya. Oh, no, here we go. They were about to start it.
Yaya,
Torre and Out in Top are doing the draw.
James, I was enjoying my Yaya Torre song, and you interrupted it. So I want to go again. James, this time I'm muting you. Boom. I love YouTube because I can mute people. I couldn't mute him on Instagram, so he's muted right now. Now I can go into my song. But before I do that, let's just play a little intro. Yeah, Toure. Colo. Right, that's enough. I've outlasted that. Right, James, you can speak again now. You're allowed back in the building. James, has it started yet?
They're just showing like who can play who and everything at the minute. Do you remember that?
Go on.
Do you remember that video of the Liverpool players in Dubai going up the escalator singing the Yaya Toure song?
That was embarrassing when we had such a bad season as well. That was so embarrassing. For those of you that have just joined, the last stream that we've just been on, we discussed the draw, we discussed the past season, we discussed our all-time Champions League team. James, I'm going to just pull up, while we're waiting, I'm going to pull up our all-time Champions League team. So let me have a look where we are, though. Come on, don't let me down now. Here we are. Have a look at this team, James. Casillas,
bad boy team.
Ramos, Maldini, Carlos, Xavi, Modric, Iniesta, Messi, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo. Is that the team you would have gone with? Is there any changes you'd make to that team? It sounds stupid saying, would you make changes to that?
I mean, the only real difference is I put in the comments like Puyol and Maldini at centre backs, and then I said like Pirlo with Xavi and Iniesta in midfield. Whichever way you'd have done it, it would have been a bad boy team regardless. Like
it would have been an absolute ridiculous team. This season, James, looking ahead, what do you see for Liverpool? Is it going to be a momentous one, or do you think it's going to be a bit of a wet lettuce?
I don't know, to be honest, bro. Like, I think if we get a decent Champions League draw, then I think that'll give them a lot of confidence. But if we end up with Madrid, then, like us put in the group chat last night, if we get Real Madrid in the group stages, we're going to get smashed 6-0 without a doubt.
Like that would be so painful, wouldn't it? Like, if we got Madrid and they did another one over on us, not a chance. No. Who's Glenn and who's Jolene? Did anyone else notice Glenn and Jolene going on about not wanting a trip to Russia? I didn't. I need to know who Glenn and Jolene are now, though. They sound like fun people, so I do need to know. What time is the draw, lads? The draw it's on now. So the draw is going on now. We're live. So this isn't something, a figment of your imagination. The draw is live. We're on YouTube. So if you're watching on Instagram, get over to YouTube. watch this watch-along live. We're going to stay on for the full draw, and then we're going to discuss the draw afterwards. We're probably going to be joined by a few more Kloppzone members along the way. Not supply teachers, actual real, proper podcasters, not James the Brain-esque, you know what I mean? Like, we'll bring some real people in the building. But James the Brain, go on. When I go into like a segue into the next bit, you always have a knack of butting in. Butter. Go on, I'm going to let you have your say. Go on.
No, they've just shown all the clubs that are in the Champions League, and now they're doing like montages of all the different teams in the pots. Like, why can't you just get on with the draw?
Yeah, just do the draw. Nobody cares. People just want the Champions League draw. Literally, that's all we want. Just show us the Champions League draw. Tell us who we're facing, so we can either get excited or not get excited. But that is literally all we want you to do. So, James, what I was going to say is, what's your all-time? And you're not allowed to choose Istanbul because that's obvious. What memories do you have of the Champions League? What emotions does it bring up for you?
I think the run to Madrid in 2019, when we were down and out to Barcelona at the Nou Camp, and then up step like Gini Wijnaldum and Divock Origi. And I think apart from Istanbul, that's the thing that stands out the most.
It's crazy, isn't it? That night for Liverpool, that night for me was even better than Istanbul. That to come back against that Barcelona team, 3 goals down, the corner taken quickly moment, Gini coming off the bench, Shaqiri starting, that the team that started the game, ridiculous.
Yeah.
That moment. I was in tears, James. I'm not going to lie. Like, breaking news, everyone. Let me just give you breaking news. I was in tears. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was crying that
George just started. So Ajax are in Group A and Porto are Group B by the looks of it.
Right, let me get this up on a banner then. Like I said, anyone watching on Instagram, get over to YouTube because we are live doing the Champions League draw. James has just announced who is in what group so far. James, again, let us know.
So we've got Ajax in Group A and Porto in Group B, and then this is pot 1. So Group C is Bayern Munich.
Ooh.
So these are the teams that Liverpool could face.
Liverpool could face these nasty little sandwiches. But Liverpool Champions League masters, so it doesn't matter. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a scrolling banner up so you can see who's in what group. So Group A, so far, James the Bain, Group A.
Group A is Ajax. Group B is Porto. And Group C is Bayern Munich. And then Group D is... Frankfurt is Group D.
Group C, Bayern, and Group D is Frankfurt. Now, we don't know who's going to get who at this point, but it's just putting the pot 1 teams into the correct groups, and then we'll see with pot 2 which Liverpool are in, who we are going to be up against, and who else is going to be up against who else. So Group D is Frankfurt. So that is the groups so far. I'm excited, I feel like I'm excited to see different teams this year, James, in the Champions League. So, for example, excited to see what Barca are going to do with all the new signings.
AC Milan are Group E, I think. I think it's Group E. Yeah, Group E, AC Milan.
Group E at AC Milan. European royalty, by the way.
Yeah. Going back to the Barcelona semi-final in 2019, I think it made it even sweeter, the fact that we all knew that if Barcelona scored, it was game over, and to prevent that same Barcelona team that had smashed us at the Nou Camp, so Madrid are Group F, so we want to avoid Group F.
No, we want Group F. We want it. Let's take them down. Let's chop them the Galacticos. Real Madrid, we want you. We're coming for you this season. Imagine, though, in the group stage, the final. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? 2 of last year's finals just in the group stage alone. That would be mad. I don't know if has that ever been done before.
I'm not sure. Man
Not
City
sure if
have
that's
just been
done
drawn
before.
in
Man
Group
City in Group G.
G.
Ooh.
Not necessarily. We could still get Madrid. The only team we can't face is Manchester City. That's the only team we can't face.
Yeah.
I think Manchester. And then you've got PSG in Group H.
Ooh. Any one of those. Which team would you like, James?
If I'm honest, either Frankfurt, Porto, or Milan, I think. Out of them lot, I wouldn't want to go to Bayern with Sadio because Sadio's just balling in friggin' so in Germany at the minute.
So here we have it. Group A, Ajax. Group B, Porto. Group C, Bayern Munich. Group D, Frankfurt. Group E, Milan. Group F, Real Madrid. And Group G, Manchester City. Group H, PSG. So that is the draw so far. We're going to leave that scrolling so you know who is in what. Let's look at the comments. So let's get some people on here. These montages take ages. Tell us about it, Latif. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We've not avoided Real Madrid yet. We could still get Real Madrid. So Liverpool are in pot 2. Liverpool are going next. So stay tuned for that. We'll see who Liverpool get in pot number 2. Pot number 2 for Liverpool. I'm so good at accents, James, by the way. I'm amazing. Like, swing some accents at me, James, and I'll read out the swing some suggestions out and I'll read out the groups.
German. Actually, no, because your German accent is
Group B, Porto. Group C, Bayern Munich.
Right, here we go. This
Pot
is group
number 2 underway.
Pot 2.
Liverpool could be drawn in this pot. So stay tuned. If you want to watch this and you're watching on Instagram, get over to YouTube. It's production value. Telling you now. Who've we got, Jimbo? Who's next?
You're pulling out.
Yeah. Never say that on a live stream again, please, James.
RB Leipzig go into Group EF, G, or H.
We'll see.
So they've got to pick which group they go in because they'll obviously have to avoid Frankfurt and Bayern. I'm not quite sure why they can't go in A or B, but there we go.
So drawn out the pot is RB Leipzig. We're just looking to see who they're going to face.
Leipzig go into Group F.
RB Leipzig in Group F with Real Madrid. Is that nice though for Madrid? Do you think?
Yeah, probably.
You know what though? Leipzig have some ballers as well.
Yeah,
they've got like Nkunku. They've got some ballers in that team, so it could be tough. But Real Madrid royalty. Who's up next? We will see. We'll keep putting these up for you.
Juventus. Apart from Milan, could go into any of the groups, I think. Oh no, G and H. I don't get how they work these groups out.
No,
I know that teams can't face each other from the same country, but then why can't they go into like the pots with Germany and like I don't bloody know.
He doesn't know. James doesn't bloody know. He says people. He doesn't bloody know. RB Leipzig, though, I've been drawn against Real Madrid in Group F. Do you see Madrid going
to Group H?
Juventus and PSG. That's a juicy one. Do you see Real Madrid going all the way again? Do you think they're capable of that again this year, or do you think like Modric
with the players that they've bought in? If Real Madrid don't make the final, there's something seriously wrong.
Yeah, it's true. Like people, when you jump in, you can see along the bottom scrolling banner. That is the teams that have been drawn. Leipzig have drawn Real Madrid. PSG have drawn Juventus. We're still in pot 2.
Tottenham.
So Tottenham have
Tottenham.
just been drawn.
They can only go into Group E by the looks of it.
They can only go into Group E. So Tottenham would then face AC Milan if that is correct.
I think. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on.
Hang
Oh,
on,
no,
he says. Hang on. Hang on, says James the Brian. Do you think
Group
Conte...
D, Spurs have gone into Group D with Frankfurt.
Lucky mother. Spurs in Group D with
Latif,
Frankfurt.
don't put in the comment check because, like, I don't know how far people are behind on the stream. So,
Group D, Frankfurt, Spurs. Spurs have been drawn with Frankfurt in Group D. That will go up on the scrolling banner across the bottom. Remember, do you think Conte can do it for Spurs? Liverpool have been drawn out. Who will we face?
Group A, B, or C.
So we could get Ajax, Porto, or Sadio Mane.
I'll take Ajax. Take Ajax or Porto.
Liverpool will face...
Yeah, Group A, Ajax.
Ajax. That's not a bad draw for Liverpool.
No, take that. Edwin van der Sar's just come up on the screen and gone, okay.
Yeah, I bet he has. Anyone would want to play us at a minute, James. I'm not going to lie. Liverpool have drawn Ajax. So that's for everyone. We've got Ajax. Let's go then. Let's see if we can go on a nice little run this season.
And then Sevilla, they could either go into Group G, Group B, C, and G by the looks of it.
Sevilla, I come to see her. Where have Sevilla gone?
Just about to be pulled out now. If you can avoid putting like who Liverpool get in the comments, just because obviously we don't know if people are behind on the stream. But looking at it, I'm a little bit behind as to what people are watching. Group G, Sevilla have gone into with Manchester City. That's a surprise.
Shocker! Man City get a nice group again. What a surprise! Little rascals. So Sevilla have been drawn with Man City. That's going up now on the banner. As you can see, we'll run through all the teams in a little minute. Once that everybody's been drawn, we'll go through all the teams.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Please go into Bayern Munich. Please go to Bayern.
Do you know what? They probably will here.
That will be a good draw.
They probably will.
Going into Group C. Yes.
Group C with Bayern Munich. Wow. Wow. That's madness. So Bayern and
Oliver Kahn's just got a smirk on his face going, oh, okay.
So this looks like it could be the group of death. Group C. Bayern, Barca.
Chelsea.
They'll probably get.
They've got to go into E or B then, haven't they, really?
F? Can they not go Real Madrid? Oh, no, Real Madrid or Leipzig.
Yeah, so it's E or F. Oh, no, they've gone straight into Group E.
Straight into Group E to face Milan.
Yeah.
So Chelsea will face AC Milan.
Who's the last team then?
But, ladies and gentlemen, they messed up last season, so don't worry. They could end up messing up again, and we could have to read.
Atletico Madrid have gone into Group E. No, into the other group, whichever group's not got someone in yet.
Group B.
Group B, they've gone into Group B with Porto. That'll be that's a good group. Porto they seem to be strong against every other team until they play us, and then Liverpool just seem to have their way.
So far, Group A, Ajax versus Liverpool. Group B, Porto and Atletico Madrid. Group C, Bayern and Barca. That is tasty. Group D, Frankfurt and Spurs. Group E, Milan played Chelsea. Real Madrid and Leipzig in Group F. Group G, City with a nice, easy, cushy draw against Sevilla. Group H, PSG and Juve. That's a nice group as well. Two potential group of death so far there, James. Are you glad with Liverpool's results so far? Like Ajax, that's probably a nice little draw for us, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think, and just quickly, Jedi, if you can avoid typing in like the groups, because we are a little bit behind, and obviously we don't want to spoil it for other people. So
great work. Whose group do you think is the hardest so far? Who do you think? Sorry for Sadio. I don't know though. Barcelona, they're not proven. So
but Barcelona should be topping that group with the money that they've spent. They've got Lewandowski, they've got Aubameyang, they've got plenty of other players. I think Barcelona, Bayern, and probably PSG, Juve will be the other group of death, I think.
It's going to be so difficult because PSG, Juve, Bayern, Barca, Milan, Chelsea. Some big teams could get knocked out in this group stage. Some big teams could be gone, but interesting. We'll see who gets drawn in pot 3. So again, I'll read through who has been drawn in the first 2 rounds, pot 1 and pot 2, starting with Group A. In Group A,
one second.
You, James the Brain.
Napoli go into. I think they can go into E, F, G, and H. I think is what they're saying there.
Napoli.
Napoli go into Group. Oh, Group A. Napoli are in Group A.
Right. Why do we always get Napoli in the group and they always do a number on us? Why can't just have it difficult for once?
Reminiscences of 2019, Alisson saving our asses.
Remember that was elite.
FC Salzburg go into groups B, C, or D. So
Liverpool have been drawn with Ajax and Napoli. That's all of a sudden turned into a tricky group.
Yeah.
Let me know what you're thinking in the comments, people, about the decision so far. What are you thinking about Liverpool's group? Napoli again, says Shuban.
Salzburg go into Group E with Milan and Chelsea.
Like another easy draw, though, isn't it?
Is it November the Champions League, the fixtures start? Is it November?
No, they should start a little bit sooner because of the World Cup, I think. Yes, Liverpool. Napoli and Chelsea just got drawn with Milan and Salzburg.
Benfica. F, G, or H. I can see them going to Group F, and I think if they do, they'll come out of that group.
Yeah,
I think they'll quite comfortably come out of that group.
Benfica up next, but not
Group H.
with Darwin Núñez, not with Darwin Núñez.
No,
In
Group
Group
H
A,
with Man City.
PSG, Juventus,
Oh no,
and
yeah,
Benfica.
Sorry,
Group H, yeah?
yeah.
And Benfica. Wow. That is a big group because Benfica
Benfica will
are
hold their
no
own, I think.
slouches. They're
I
no
genuinely
slouches.
think they'll hold their own. Borussia Dortmund. Don't go into Man City's group.
Yeah, because
Don't you-
Bellingham will fall in love with you, and then Bellingham will want to join Man City, so don't win their group.
Oh, they've got to go in Group G. For God's sake.
That's a bit trickier though for Man City though. It is a
Yeah.
tricky. It's a
Haaland and Dortmund reunited already.
Haaland and Dortmund reunited already in Group G.
Bayer Leverkusen.
Another tricky team as well.
They
Bayer
can only go into
Leverkusen.
Group B, I think, can't they? Because of like the way that the other teams are. Yeah, Group B, Bayer Leverkusen.
Bayer Leverkusen in Group B with Porto and Atletico Madrid.
Yeah. Just going back quickly to what we were talking about with the World Cup. Have you seen what Liverpool are going to do? They're going to have a warm weather training camp towards the end of the World Cup so that all the players are in one place and they haven't got to travel back separately.
So they're going over to where the World Cup.
Yeah, Sporting Lisbon will go into Group C, D, or F, I think. And then that way they can reintegrate everybody back into the squad after the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's going to be so weird having a World Cup during the football season. Like,
I don't know if it's actually going to work. They talk about
No.
burnout now, and then they're doing a
Group
World
D
Cup.
for Sporting.
Group D for Sporting Lisbon with Spurs, Frankfurt, Spurs, Sporting. That's a great group for Spurs to potentially get out of the group here.
Yeah.
Great group. So let me run through quickly. Liverpool have got Ajax, Napoli in their group so far. Tough group. But there's some other tough groups as well. Porto, Bayer Leverkusen, Atletico. That's a tough group.
Shakhtar have gone into Group F.
Shakhtar have gone into Group F with Real Madrid, Leipzig, and Shakhtar. Real Madrid coming out of that one. Real Madrid, Shakhtar Donetsk, and RB Leipzig.
And then you've got Inter Milan that will go into Group C with Barca and Bayern. That is the group of death now, I think.
Inter Milan with Bayern and Barcelona. Wow. Group Sadio, I bet you wish you stayed there, bro. Bet you wish you stayed there, Sadio.
Just to reiterate, anybody in the comments, don't post the groups in the comments because we are a little bit behind.
But let's see what you are saying in the comments, though, because that's what's important to us anyway. Don't want to say too much due to the lag, but Sick and Napoli starts in 10 days' time. Exactly. 10 days' time. I want a Scottish team now, says Jenny. Do you know what?
I'll take either one of them
right now. Do you know what I want right now? Pre-season again. I feel like I want pre-season. I'd say give them a rest, but they don't deserve a rest the way they're playing at the minute.
I mean, at least we'll have Darwin back for when the Champions League starts.
Darwin.
Just keep him away from his centre backs.
Yeah, the Champions League. Can someone tell me what the Champions League draws? Dane, this is the whole show, bro. It's there, scrolling across the screen. Open the eyes, man. Yeah, open the eyes and have a look at the bottom of the screen. It's simple. Let's do. I'll run through the groups for you. Run through the draw. So far, the Champions League draw 3 pots have been drawn. In Group A, we have Ajax, Liverpool, and Napoli. Wow. It sounds worse every time I read it out. Group B, Porto, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen. Group C, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and Inter Milan. That's the group of death. Group D, Frankfurt, Spurs, Sporting. Group E, Milan, Chelsea, and Salzburg. Group F, Real Madrid, RB Leipzig, Shakhtar Donetsk. Group G, City, Sevilla, and Dortmund. Not as easy now for Man City there. And Group H, the second group of death, PSG, Juventus, and Benfica. Sean, people saying, are you worried with the draw? Let us know, Sean.
Celtic are the first team to come out.
Celtic are out in the 4th round. The final pot to be announced. Celtic are out of the pot. And we'll discuss all this later on. Once we've finished the draw, we'll discuss the groups and we'll run through what has happened. Luke, I'm worried about everything he says, Sean. Sean,
we all are.
I'm worried about everything as well. I'm worried about what Liverpool are going to come out with next. I'm not going to lie.
Right. Celtic go into group. Oh, God. Group F, Celtic.
With Real Madrid, Leipzig, and Shakhtar. So Celtic in Group F.
Bye, Celtic.
Do you know what, though? All the groups are so tough. Like, which group would Celtic have actually got out of now so far? Like, when you look at these groups, it's so difficult to get out. But Celtic, yeah, goodbye. See you in a bit.
Next team is Marseille.
Marseille.
They go into... Don't know whether I'd want Marseille or not, to be honest.
Yeah, they're a strange team. I think Liverpool should deal with anyone, but anyone at the minute could cause Liverpool trouble.
Yeah. Group D.
Group D for Marseille. Finishing the group of Frankfurt, Spurs, Sporting Lisbon is Marseille. Also, Group F has been finished. Real Madrid, RB Leipzig, Shakhtar, and Celtic.
I mean, you look at the group that we're in, and you think, well, Liverpool are in it. Liverpool should come out of it easily. Last season, we would have walked that group, but this season, I'm not convinced.
Last season, we had the group of death.
Yeah, FC Copenhagen.
FC Copenhagen, yeah.
They can go into A, B, C, E, G, and H.
I think we will beat FC Copenhagen. I think we will easily see them off.
We should be beating every team in that
group. Yeah, but James, we should be beating everybody. But at the minute, we are disgraceful, James. Yeah. This is my Jürgen Klopp voice.
Group G, Copenhagen go into.
Group J. I hate Man City. I just hate them. I hate you so much. Copenhagen.
That is good.
That is good for City, yeah.
What have you started?
So save that. The groups
Man City always get an easy group.
Always. They're ticking along the bottom of the group. Bruges. It could be a tricky one.
Simon Mignolet's team, that's where he's at now.
No, it could be an easy one then, after saying that. Bring him on if Simon Mignolet's there.
Oh, dear.
Just to run through the completed groups so far. D, with Frankfurt, Spurs, Sporting, and Marseille. Then we've got Group F, Real Madrid, Leipzig, Shakhtar, Celtic, and Group G, Man City, Sevilla, Dortmund.
Club Brugge going to Group B.
Club Brugge finished Group B off. Porto, Atletico, Leverkusen, and Club Borussia.
Who's left? Who have we got left? So we got that Pleasant, Rangers, and there's a couple more. I can't think who they are.
So, who do you not want? Would you take Rangers?
Yeah, I'd take Rangers.
I don't think there's anyone left. No.
Rangers.
Rangers are out. Rangers are out. Mr. Mike Mendes, how you doing on Instagram? Nice to see you, yeah?
They can either go into A or C. They're going to end up either in our group or the other group. Obviously, the other group. Group A, we got Rangers.
Finish off Liverpool's group. So Liverpool drawn against Ajax, Napoli, and Rangers. I'll take Rangers, but are they one of the more tricky teams, you would say, in that?
I mean, they beat PSV last night, didn't they? So, you know, the last few now. Dinamo. GNK Dinamo.
GNK Dinamo. I think it is Zagreb. Dinamo Zagreb.
I'm not sure.
So,
Ellis at this point, I'm worried whoever we face. Like, I'm worried about Bournemouth on Saturday, for God's sake. So,
amen to that. Amen to that.
You know, let's just hope that if Dominic Solanke gets the ball, let's just hope Virgil van Dijk doesn't turn into Noel Gallagher just about before he's about to sing Wonderwall.
And maybe my aura's going to save me. Who's in Group E? James, tell them again.
Dynamo or Dynamo, whichever.
Is he a magician? You look a bit like Dynamo, actually, James. You know the magician.
That's the one player I'm worried about at Rangers is John Lundstrom. He's so physical.
But how bad is that though? That we're saying we're worried about John Lundstrom.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If Naby Keita plays, John Lundstrom's only going to have to say hello to him, and Naby Keita will have snapped his ACL.
You've got a vendetta, you. James is the world's worst Naby Keita hater. And that is a rhyme for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, the man has got muscles made of crisps.
He has got muscles. It depends what crisp, though, because McCoy's are stronger than Naby Keita's muscles. He's more like a what's it. He's got what's it, so hamstrings.
Maccabi Haifa have gone into Group H.
Group H, Maccabi Haifa. I think my spelling's not been too bad today, James. It's not been too bad. I don't know how to spell
apart from you spelled Sevilla wrong.
Yeah, be quiet. I don't know how to spell Haifa, but I'm trying. Have I spelled Sevilla wrong?
Yeah, there's an A on the end of it, not an E.
Oh, yeah, I've done the place. Sevilla. I think I spelled Marseille wrong as well.
Pleasant have gone into Group C.
And does that conclude the draw?
Yes, it does. That is it. That is the draw done.
That is the draw done. Let's have a little roundup of who's in what group. Yeah. So, Group A, Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli, Rangers. Group B, Porto, Atletico, Bayer Leverkusen, and Club Brugge. Group C, Bayern, Barca, Inter. Sorry about this, but Plazan, I'm so sorry for you. Group D, Frankfurt, Spurs, Sporting Marseille. Interesting group, actually. Group E, Milan, Chelsea, Salzburg, and Dinamo Zagreb. Group F, Real Madrid, RB Leipzig, Shakhtar, and Celtic. Group G, Man City, Sevilla, Dortmund, Copenhagen. And Group H, PSG, Juventus, Benfica, and Maccabi Haifa. Interesting. Let's get to the comments then. Let's get to people. People watching live on Instagram, get over to YouTube because you can get in the comments. We're going to chat with the fans now, chat with the followers. That was just a little live draw watch along, but now it's time to discuss what we see. And we're better to start, James, than our very own Liverpool. What are you saying?
It's not going to be an easy group. You know, we've got Napoli, we've got Ajax, and we've got Rangers. You know, realistically, Liverpool should be topping that group with ease, but I don't know with Liverpool anymore. I really don't.
Ryan Kent is going to come back and cause nightmares. Ryan Kent, Stevie G took him to Rangers, turned him into I was going to say class player then, but he turned him into something. He turned him into a player that can play football. He can't cause us trouble. Well, if he plays on the left wing, I think anybody can get him behind us on the left wing in a minute.
I mean, an currently unfit Alfredo Morelos could probably cause Trent problems, and he's been told he's overweight. So at this point, I don't know.
James the Brain speaking nothing but facts because, yes, you're correct, James. An unfit Alfredo Morelos is better than a Rashford. And guess what? Trashford scored against Liverpool. So let's not write off Ryan Kent just now, but let's try and be a bit hopeful. People in the comments, give me some positivity. Give me some hope. I need to grab onto something to keep the spirits alive. Jed says, Naby Keita's hamstrings are like skips.
No. You can't compare Naby Keita and Skips because Skips are world-class crisps. Naby Keita is not a world-class person.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen? This guy today is on a vendetta, so I'm putting him in timeout. So, James the Brain, you're in timeout. Get him in the timeout corner because he cannot keep going at Naby Keita has not even played, and he's going at Naby Keita. So, do you know what? For that, James the Brain, you're on a 60-second timeout starting from now. Keep that timer going. James the Brain, think about your actions. You sit in that corner, think about your actions. You're not even allowed on screen. Disgraceful. 49 seconds left. While I'm doing that, away against Rangers at Ibrox. Huge challenge. This is it. We're forgetting, like we said before, we are actually forgetting about the fans, the stadiums that we've got to travel to now. Napoli's an absolute cauldron. Napoli's a horrible place to go. Are you telling me Ajax fans aren't going to be well up for it? Of course they are. Back in the Champions League, looking to make amends on when they could have got to the final against Tottenham. They could have been facing Liverpool. Now they get the chance to show us what they're about. But James the Brain, your time up is now over. You are allowed back into the stream. You get a 60-second timer every time you disrespect Naby Keita again. When the poor man is injured. The poor man's injured. Do you know what I mean? He's not even played at all. Leave him alone. It's a good challenge for our group stage. Not too easy, but not too tough either. It's right, isn't it, James? I just said to G before, I said, you've got to keep the level. You've got to keep the standard high because if we play easy opposition, it might slacken us off for the Premier League. If we play mediocre opposition, it might keep us fit. So this, medium, we can rest some players but keep players fit. It's probably a nice group to keep us ticking over, but a tricky one to try and navigate.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be a key thing is going to be squad depth. You know, if we can get through the first 3 games and we're top of the group, by the time we have to come around and play Rangers again, we might not have to play the likes of Mo Salah, Darwin Núñez and players like that. We can rest them for potentially more important games along the way. I think it's just squad depth is going to be key. So trying to keep everybody fit is Yeah.
I agree. And he's back. My own fucking brother is back in the comments again, saying that. I'm going to try this name, James. I'm going to try it. Kvichka Varadskhelia for
Yeah, sure. We'll go
Napoli.
with that
That's a good
one.
one. Will be a huge threat. He's a massive talent, in my opinion. He is a massive talent. And I've seen this guy play. He is a massive talent. And then next big thing, would like to see how he plays against us and potentially sign him. Now, a lot of people were mentioning him for us to sign him. Right now, I think I'd just take anyone. You know what I mean? Like, let's just get somebody in. Rumours, James, of Frankie de Jong. Do you think that's even...
No.
It's just... Do people realise Frankie de Jong's on 400k a week? Right? Do you realise what we've just been arguing with Mo Salah about? It's not going to happen.
No.
Look, it's not going to happen. And Sean Dock, stop doing this to me because I read this out last time, right? Stop reading it out again because you caught me out. He's not called that. He's called Dominic Zoboslai. He's not called.
Yeah, no. These whole Frankie de Jong rumours are just a load of crap. You know, like you've just said, Ash. The club were reluctant to give Mo Salah over 300k a week. How do you expect FSG to go? Yeah, we'll reluctantly give Mo Salah, who's been like our best player for the past however long. But we'll reluctantly give him 300k, but we're gonna piss away 400k on Frankie de Jong. Not a chance.
I completely agree with you. Like, it's difficult, but I like this from my own fucking brother again. At least Darwin Núñez gets to play. Do you know what? At least he does because
Darwin causes
you know what
so
it
many
is with
problems.
me, James. The more I'm looking at it from Núñez, I don't want to criticize him too much because he's only just come in, but he does seem to have this little bit of an attitude. We said that before he came. I remember me and O said in the group before he came, he's got this bit of a complex, a bit of an attitude problem. If he headbutts, I don't know, he probably won't headbutt anyone, but if he does this again and gets another red card, Liverpool fans' patience, we're not going to have any for it.
Will go very thin.
We had patience for Suarez because he earned that patience. You can't come in after 2 games, headbutt someone, and then something happen again. Patience were very thin, wouldn't it?
Yeah, very much so. I think, like, don't get me wrong, it's nice to see a player at Liverpool have an attitude, but you've got to know the right time to use it. And what Darwin did isn't acceptable. You know, he's probably learned from that. Jurgen Klopp probably gave him a right royal bollocking for it, and hopefully he'll come back and he'll use that attitude with his feet and not with his head.
Because he's got the potential. That's why he's got the potential.
We all saw that last season when we played Benfica. He caused so many problems for us, and that's why Jurgen Klopp has a tendency to sign players when they give Virgil van Dijk the runaround. Jurgen Klopp's going, "Oh, okay, maybe they are right."
I keep having to say this now. I'm just going to call you Moff B. Moff B is saying that FSG, it'd be bankrupt if we paid 400k a week. John Henry would have a heart attack. Listen, they wouldn't be bankrupt. I'll tell you that for free because they are sitting on a nice fat wad. So don't worry about them going bankrupt, but they're not going to do it. So we need to get that out of our heads straight away. James, what do you think Liverpool do with the Champions League this season? Do you think that's our best hope at getting a trophy?
Yeah. At this precise moment in time, I think Jurgen Klopp needs to put. I know we're only 3 games in, but I think for the time being, Jurgen Klopp needs to put the Premier League on the back burner and just focus on winning a Champions League. Because if he goes another season without winning the Champions League, then questions are going to start getting asked of him. I know there's this whole 7th season like drought or whatever else, but you know, and these fans that are saying Klopp out, sorry, but he's won every single major trophy possible whilst he's been at Liverpool. without him, he's the only one that's managed to get us over the line to beat City for a Premier League title. Like, Klopp will have my backing regardless. It just, between him and the club, they need to pull their fingers out their asses. John Henry needs to get his pen from out of his arse and sign a checkbook and actually splash the cash, because otherwise Liverpool could be... We were all laughing at Everton last season, who survived by the skin of their teeth. We could have the Evertonians laughing at us all season, and I couldn't bear that. So
please, no, we can't deal with that. James, then, we've got 8 days or 7 and a bit days, whatever it is, to get someone in. What are you looking for? What are we bringing in? Like, what would you do?
I think the 3 options we've got to go looking for are Michael Elise, Leandro Trossard, and that the other Brighton midfielder that we've been linked with. What's his name?
Oh, Caicedo.
Yeah, that's the one. I think one of them 3, Premier League proven. But I've seen so many rumours that Liverpool are sticking to their guns and are adamant that they don't need a stopgap. But I mean, the injury list proves otherwise. But what do we know?
I don't know what to say about it, because we're not going to sign anyone. That's the be all and end all of this. We're not going to sign a player. It's just written in the stars. It's happened before. I don't know why everybody's getting the hopes up, thinking we're going to get somebody in, because we're not. We may as well play Carol from the kitchen, because we're not signing a midfielder at all. FSG are stingy.
Yeah,
it's that simple. Mothby has nailed it in one. We are that stingy. But James, let's talk about Champions League, because this is Champions League. Like I've said before, you can lose 50% of your games in the Champions League and still win. So there's always that flame, and I think that's what Liverpool pride themselves on. When push comes to shove, the end of the season, we always put a run together. We've got Núñez this time. If he fires, this could get us over the line, because all we was missing was goals last season. Do you think Liverpool can actually do it? Or do you think other teams are just too strong this season? Man City, Barcelona are on the rise. Juventus with Pogba back. PSG are absolutely flying at the minute. Who's your favourites for the Champions League this season?
I mean, I go into the new Champions League season as optimistic as ever. I why can't we win the Champions League? And after the start of the season so far, I'm yeah, that's probably why we can't win the Champions League. But I think if Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, and Manchester City don't all make the semi-finals, there is something seriously wrong. Erling Haaland, that was the one thing that Manchester City were missing for the past few years, is an out-and-out striker. They've now got Erling Haaland. He should be the difference. He should be enough to put Manchester City to the final. And whether he will or not will remain to be seen. But, Real Madrid have gone and signed Tchouaméni, who we spoke in the group chat numerous times about Tchouaméni, how much... Whether Liverpool were actually linked with him or not, no one will ever know. But I think it's got to be those 4 at least. Barcelona have got Lewandowski. Yes, okay, Aubameyang's on the verge of going to Chelsea, but they've still got Lewandowski. They've still got various other players, Gavi, and Xavi seems to have them working as a unit now, and it'll be an interesting run with the Champions League.
It definitely will be an interesting run. But just to run things through, before we jump out, it's been an hours-long show. James the Brain, as much as I'd give you the banter, we love having you on the shows. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for running us through the teams. We're going to run through the groups one last time before we leave. Group A, Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli, and Rangers. Group B, Porto, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Club Brugge, Club C, Group C, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Inter Milan, and Ruben Plazan, Victor Plazan. Group D,
Victoria Plaza, I think it is.
Spurs, Sporting, and Marseille. Group E, Milan, Chelsea, Salzburg, Dinamo Zagreb. Group F, Real Madrid, RB Leipzig, Shakhtar, and Celtic. Group G, Manchester City, Sevilla, Dortmund, Copenhagen, and finishing us off. Group H, PSG, Juventus, Benfica, and Maccabi Haifa. Let's just hope we can do it, James.
Yeah.
The Champions League is Liverpool's competition. Always has been,
I agree.
always will be. So let's go this season and hope we can get...
Who's your prediction? Who's your prediction for winning it, apart from us?
Man City. I cannot look past Man City with Haaland. It's what they needed last season to get them over the line. They've got it this season. Plus, they've got some quality in depth as well this season. So,
do you think then if they'd have had Haaland last season, do you think it would have been a Liverpool-Man City final?
Yeah, I think if they'd have, even if they didn't have Haaland last season, they lost it themselves. Like,
yeah,
Haaland, they didn't even need him last season to get there.
No,
but they just slipped up like big time. It was all but one. We was like, right, Liverpool, City, and then all of a sudden, Real Madrid just decided to fight back. So it's all to fight for, all to play for. But James, let the people know what's coming up that you want to tell people about on Kloppzone, on your channel. Where can people find you? Let the ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls
follow me on Instagram, Mr. James the Brain. Join me, Ash, and I want to say potentially for ladies' night tomorrow night. What time are we doing it? I can't remember.
You know what? I've not decided on the time yet, James, because I'm so excited. It's summer holidays. I know that a lot of the children have been excited for ladies' night to come back. So tomorrow, it might be get out your big hats, get your feather boas, because it might be ladies' day. It might be ladies' day, James. So stay tuned.
We'll let you know.
We'll let you know, but you do not want to miss it. This has been the Champions League draw live. Join us for exclusives. Hit the like, hit subscribe, because we're bringing you so many more shows. We're going live later this evening for half an hour to answer your questions on Instagram. So Instagram Q&A later this evening, 7 p.m. So in 40 minutes time. But what are you shaking your head at?
How many shows have you done this week?
Do you know what? I can't even. More than 12. More than 12. I can't even think. But we love it. We love it. You love it. James
subscribe.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you all so much. But until next time, as we always end the show, you'll never wrong one. You'll never walk alone. Peace.